Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Morose Project. I'm Brad Rosen.
I'm Aaron Moore.
Alright, so, we saw Suicide Squad. I saw it twice. You saw it once.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Wasn't bad. They cut out a lot of Joker,
Yeah.
which
It's
kind of annoying, but I get it.
I remember at the end of the movie, I said I think Joker was in the trailers more than he was actually in the movie.
Yeah.
At least that's the way it seemed, because most of the trailers seemed to focus on him, and then he wasn't in it much. But, he did really well. I thought his laugh was a unique take, and, he was interesting. He definitely wasn't Heath Ledger, but you can't really compare the two, because they were playing the same character, but they weren't at all, like, trying to play it the same way, It's not like he might have taken a little inspiration, but it's not like he, actually was trying to be Heath Ledger. He was doing his own thing with it, and I thought it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, but you still compare the two. They're both
The
Joker.
Yeah, but, they're different enough.
They're different enough, but that's you comparing them.
Sure. Other than that, though, Harley was great, of course. No surprise there. Deadshot. I heard going into the movie that it was kind of Deadshot's movie, which makes sense. Will Smith's the biggest actor in that cast, so...
Yeah, big role.
And they probably paid him the most money, so it would make sense he'd get the most story. But he did really well.
I was surprised.
I mean, I've seen him do fun stuff before, but it had been a while. Like, he's been doing a lot of serious movies, and it seems like he's trying real hard to win an Oscar these last couple of years. But this was a nice change of pace, more like some of his earlier stuff. And I wouldn't say he was my favorite part of the movie, but I liked him a lot more than I thought that I would.
Yeah, I had my doubts about him being in this movie.
Yeah.
Just from, like, I didn't watch Concussion, but it just didn't seem like it would be that great. I haven't heard anything good about it.
I haven't.
And then that movie he did with his son.
After Earth.
Yeah, After Earth. That just looked horrible.
Yeah. I saw that. He was good. His son, not so much, but,
Yeah, I don't think his son's that great of an actor.
Yeah. I loved him in Karate Kid, but, that movie he was terrible in, and I think he's in, like, one or two other movies, and he's not good in either of those either. But what else?
I loved how they killed Slipknot, like, right away.
Yeah, spoiler. I was happy because, like, he was hands down, like, of all the characters that they said were going to be in the movie, he was the one that, like, seemed the most useless and kind of like, why is this guy in this movie at all? And then I was so glad, though, because for those of you who haven't seen it and don't know, the Suicide Squad is a group of bad guys that the government plants tiny bombs in their neck, and they're supposed to do whatever the government tells them, or else they'll blow up the bomb in their neck. And their mission most of the time is to do stuff that's too dangerous for the regular military to do, or CIA or any of that stuff. And so I was just happy that they actually showed, what happens when they use the bomb, because he tried to get away, and it did not work out well for him at all.
Got that neck bone sticking out.
Other than that, I don't want to spoil it too much. I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised by who the bad guy ended up being. Batman was in it more than I thought he would be. He was in the scene where he took down Harley which I knew because that was in the trailers, but then he was in a couple other scenes that I did not. Again, I should have known because he's the main, the villain, the other villain he took in is one of his villains, so I should have realized it would be him that took him down, but I didn't because I guess I wasn't really thinking. There was also a cool, very brief Flash cameo, which I enjoyed. I absolutely love the TV version of Flash, but I think this guy's going to be okay.
Yeah, the guy who played Patrick and Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's the only thing I've ever seen him in. I'm sure he's been in other stuff, but
yeah,
it's the only movie I've ever seen him in.
I'm actually going to look this up real quick.
But yeah, so I say for sure go see it in the theater. Obviously, I saw it twice. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have seen it the second time.
Right.
I actually rewatched Batman vs Superman this weekend. I still think it has a lot of problems, but I watched the longer version and some of the editing issues were fixed, but it still has character problems that you can't. The only way you could get rid of them is if you change the movie entirely.
Yeah, like Martha. Oh, his name's Ezra.
He's only 23.
Mm-hmm.
Has he been in anything else good? Or that we've heard of?
He's been in Californication, which I've seen most of that. And then not really.
Yeah.
Maybe Another Happy Day.
He was in Trainwreck.
He's gonna be in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And then obviously the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And The Flash.
So he's kind of, obviously he's been in a few things, but he's kind of an unknown.
Yeah, kind of.
Which is nice, considering I think most of the other... Although I guess I never really heard of the guy who plays Superman until he played Superman in Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously everybody knows Ben Affleck, because most people were complaining about him. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought I already said this, but I thought Harley was great. Margot Robbie was really good. I think the surprising one that I liked more than I thought I would was Captain Boomerang. Yeah,
he was a bit of comic relief.
Yeah, and I don't know, he was cooler than I thought he would be. Like, his boomerangs, he kind of used just knives at a couple points in the movie. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he had, some fancy ones. Like, he threw one at one point, and it had, a camera on it, and he was looking at what it was showing. And, Katana was really cool. That was, some deep cuts. They went with Katana and her Soul Taker sword. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. What's the deal with the fucking unicorn?
I don't know. See, I didn't know if that was just a joke, or if that was maybe something... Because I don't know a lot about Captain Boomerang. Maybe that's part of his actual character in the comic books.
Maybe.
But for sure, it was funny.
At least we don't have to see him jerking off to it.
Yeah. That was all I could think of. And I know, obviously, both of those movies were shot over a year ago, so it's not like it's not like Suicide Squad stole it from Deadpool, but that was very reminiscent.
Mm-hmm.
And even Killer Croc was decent.
I hated his dialogue.
Yeah, he had some bad dialogue, but I don't know. I thought they used him well. My biggest complaint with the movie was I didn't like at the end, because for the most part they didn't use too terribly much CGI throughout the movie, but then they used a lot at the end, and that just kind of bummed me out, because, I don't know. If I want to see a video game, I'll play a video game. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, but it's hard to find someone who's, 8 to 9 feet tall.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I felt they didn't need that at all. Granted, that would have meant they had to cut out one of the whole bad guys, but realistically, I thought it would have been better if, like that second fight after one of the two bad guys dies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought like, they really just needed that. They didn't need the other fight with the other bad guy. That kind of felt pointless, and like it just took up extra budget that they could have used somewhere else. But apparently Jared Leto said they shot a lot more, and obviously we saw some of it in the trailers that wasn't in the movie, but he said they shot almost enough to make a whole Joker movie. So hopefully that footage is on the DVD or something.
It probably will be.
I just hope they don't do like Marvel does sometimes, where they'll save certain special features for the collector set, where you get all the movies at once. I never understand why they punish people who buy like movies or TV shows individually, and they reward the people who like. I mean, obviously you should reward the people who spend the money to get the whole collection for like a whole series or like a whole set of movies, but if the people have been supporting you from day one and they buy every movie, they shouldn't get fucked over.
Okay.
Because I remember I was really mad about that with the Marvel Phase 1, which was like the first 2 Iron Man movies, and that Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton and Captain America, Thor, and the Avengers. Like, they had a special collector's edition that had all those movies together, and it came with some special features that were not on any of the other stuff, and I was like, well, I already own all the movies, so I'm not going to waste more money on this. But
Yeah, but some people will.
I know, but it's
That's
just
why they do it.
like, I don't know, it feels dirty. But anyway, yeah, so I say, I'm not really the type of person to rate a movie out of a number. It feels weird to me to do. Also, just because, like, I could say something, because, like, this, totally how I feel about Netflix, like, you know, they have the stars or whatever, and to me, 3 out of 5 is, like, good. It's not great. Great would be 4 out of 5, and 5 out of 5 would be something that I absolutely love. But on Netflix, like, if I rate something a 3 out of 5, they treat it like I hated it.
Yeah.
So, I don't like to rate numbers or whatever, but I definitely say it's worth your money to go see it in the theater. I saw it in 2D both times. I'm not a huge proponent of 3D, so if you want to spend the extra money, go ahead for it. But like I said, I didn't really see much that needed to be in 3D, so so I said go see it in 2D. Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed it. Let's go. I like how we kind of broke format. Usually we do our lists first, but I wanted to talk about Suicide Squad right away while it's still on the button, if you will.
What button?
The hot button? I don't know. I'm mixing metaphors again, like I did that one time when I said that's how the jelly's made. So this week we're gonna. I haven't either. I don't think I want to. This week we're gonna talk about our favorite video games, and since your list is longer than mine, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first.
You go for it.
No, go.
Oh, go.
Fine. Okay. It's funny. I'm looking at my list, and a lot of it is like sequels. There's a couple, but anyway. So I'll go. God of War 3. The first 2 God of War games were really fun, but I felt like 3 they finally, because it was on, the first 2 were on PlayStation 2, the third one was on PS3. I felt like they finally, the power of the PlayStation matched what they wanted to do with the games, so I thought that worked out perfectly. I think all of these are pretty much PlayStation 3 games. Beyond Two Souls is another one. It's an interesting game. It's about this girl who has a soul attached to her, and she like, the soul kind of like protects her or whatever. And so, like, there's different scenes where she's like getting mugged, and then the soul takes, like, attacks the people, and you usually play as her, but at certain points you play as the soul when she's in trouble or whatever. It's really fun. It was an interesting game. It was it was a lot like playing a movie, which was a nice change of pace. And then I got Fallout 3 on here. It's the only Fallout I've really played, but it's fun. You know, I don't think I've met anybody who's played Fallout and doesn't love it. So yeah, and then I got Fable 2. This is probably the only non-PlayStation game on my list. I played all 3 Fables. It's kind of like it's one of the only few games I've played where you like build up your character and you can do different things. But 2 is my favorite because like 1 made a lot of promises that it didn't deliver on, and then 2 like delivered on those promises and then more, and then 3 was kind of like 2, only like with a couple extra deals, so it wasn't as fun. But Fable 2, I had so much fun playing.
Those always looked a little, I don't know, they always seem kind of strange to me.
I don't, they're like fantasy and magic and dragons and stuff. They were pretty, the first one, the last battle, you fight a dragon, if I remember correctly.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Doesn't your appearance change depending on
Yeah.
decisions you make?
Yeah, the more good decisions you make, you look more like an angel, and the more bad decisions you make, you look more like a devil. And like even your skin turns red and you grow horns and stuff. It's pretty crazy. And the next on my list I got, and this is in no real order. I'm saving probably my favorites for last, but other than that, this is just in no real order. But I got BioShock Infinite. I've played the other BioShock games. I didn't really care for them. They were fine, but just not my kind of game. But for whatever reason, I really like BioShock Infinite. Maybe it was because instead of being underwater, it was in the clouds. But I don't. It was just a really fun story and really fun to do. And then I got The Last of Us. It's from the same people who make another game that I'll be naming later. It's kind of like zombies, only instead of zombies, it's like a plant virus. Like, people, like, instead of, like, being zombies, they grow, like, stems and stuff. It's really creepy to look at, but it's very fun. And it's just the story of this guy and this girl. The girl is allegedly the cure for the virus, but the guy doesn't. At first, he doesn't want to take her to where he's taking her, and then when he gets her there, he doesn't want to give her up because they've gotten so close. It's really fun. And then the ending, the last level, is fucking batshit crazy, but it's so much fun. You get to the hospital, and spoilers, you get to the hospital, and you literally have to fight your way down the hospital to get her and save her, because they say that using her to make a cure is more than likely going to kill her, so he decides that it's not worth it, and he kills everybody in the hospital to save her, and then they run off and hide together. They're allegedly making a sequel, which I would totally play, but that game was so perfect, I'd be 100% okay if they didn't do a sequel to. And then I got Mass Effect 2. This is another one where it was just, 1 felt kind of small, and then 2 was bigger, and then 3 felt too big, so 2 was like perfect, because 2 you're trying to take out, it takes place in the future and in space, and there's like aliens and everything, and in 2 you're trying to take out this sentient ship, which is called a Reaper, or a Reaver, I think it's Reaper, and in 2 you only supposed to take out 1, but then in 3 like a whole bunch of them come, and you gotta kill them all, and it just felt like overkill. Also, I was fine with the ending, but a lot of people were not particularly happy with the ending of 3. probably because it was another one of those games where you could be more good or more evil, and then at the end, it didn't really matter what you were that much. All the endings were very similar, except for, with the exception of if you picked the evil ending, your character lived, whereas if you picked the good ending or the neutral ending, your character died. But, so yeah, Mass Effect 2 was great because it had the perfect ending to set up the third one, and, you know, it just felt like good on, it wasn't too, the stakes weren't too small or too big. And then Resident Evil 4, I played 3, I don't think I played any of the other ones, but they weren't really for me. It wasn't, again, and these are kind of also plant-based zombies, but 4, like, it just took the whole franchise in a new direction, and it gave it new life, and it got really popular. I mean, it was popular before, but it got, like, popular on a whole nother level when 4 came out, and, it's still the most fun one of the series I've played. I played 5 and 6. I didn't really care for 5. 6 I thought was fun, but I know a lot of people didn't really like it. And then I got Red Dead Redemption, which is basically Grand Theft Auto in the Old West on horses. And it's...
Do you still get to pick up hookers?
Kind of. But what's really fun is you can lasso people and strap them to the back of your horse and just ride around with them screaming on the back of your horse. That was in there for, like, if you wanted to do bounty missions or whatever, and you wanted to take the person in alive, because you get more money if you take them in alive versus dead. But, you could also do it to normal people, too, and so that was a lot of fun. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I love the whole Grand Theft Auto series, but my two absolute favorites are San Andreas and 5. San Andreas, probably, because that was the first one. Like, I played Vice City a little... I played 3 a little bit at a friend's house one time, and then Vice City came out and I played it, but never beat it. San Andreas was the first one I beat, and also I just felt like it was the biggest map they had done up until that point. It was the most fun characters they'd had, and it was, like, the first really legit one, because they had, like, Samuel L. Jackson and, like, a bunch of other, like, actually famous people doing voices in the game. And then 5 is because it also takes place in San Andreas, and it was cool because it changed it up. You got to be 3 characters instead of just 1, and all the different characters were equally interesting and fun to play as. And then I got the Batman Arkham series. They're all really fun, but 1, I felt the ending was kind of lame. And then Batman Arkham Origins was not made by the same people, so it was not as fun. But Arkham City and Arkham Knight are great. Arkham City is probably my favorite, but Knight's really good, because it's the ending to the series, and they ended it really well, and there was a lot of fun stuff, because they pull out, like, just about every Batman villain you could ever think of is probably in one of those 4 games, if not all 4 of them. Actually, I think the Joker's the only one that's in all 4, but the rest are all in there at some point or another, and it's really, really fun. And it's the only game I've played so far, the only Batman game that actually feels like you get to be Batman. And my all-time favorite game is the Uncharted games. In particular, 2. Uncharted 2 is still, like, perfect. They just released 4, which I played the crap out of, and it's close to 2, but I still say 2 is my favorite. 1 is good, but it's just setting up the characters and the world, so it's not great. And 3 was good, but after following 2, it was not. It was, of course, going to be a little bit of a letdown. But it's kind of just like playing an Indiana Jones movie, and I love Indiana Jones. So
What's Indiana Jones?
It's what Han Solo did before he became Han Solo. Well, technically, the movies were after he was Han Solo, but that was his job before Indiana Jones eventually became Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Yes. So that's my list. What do you got on yours?
I got a little bit. They're not really in any particular order. There were actually two games I remember playing on the computer when I was young, and I think that's kind of where I had started getting into games. And they're Jill the Jungle, which was you played this it was a female character, and you're right there, buddy.
Yeah.
She plays through, or you play through, and she's going through the jungle, and can't remember what weapon she uses. I think it was like a whip or something, and I don't know. Looking back at it now, like, it was really silly, but for some fucking reason, I love that game. It got to the point where I'd come home and I would just play through it, like, all day. And then there was a Chips Challenge, which was somewhat of like a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
And you just play this little character named Chip, and you try to escape each room, and there's just always like shit flying at you, like fireballs and like these little. They always look like fuck, what are those things that killed Steve Irwin? Stingray, yeah. Look like those things always flying at you and shit. But like the first series I got into was Spyro.
Spyro. See, I played Spyro, but I think I only ever played one or two, and I never knew what the hell was going on, so and I just never really got into it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Always gotta love that little purple dragon.
It's not a metaphor.
Yeah, no, not a metaphor. There was a game that it's probably my favorite game. Just because my friend Jacob and we always play that game. We play the shit out of it. It's called Champions Return to Arms. And what you do is it's set in a fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
And you create a character, a race, and then a class. And it's set a lot like Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever played Diablo.
A little.
Yeah. This was before Diablo 3 came out, and I want to say before Diablo 2, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, we played that all the time. Let's see. You mentioned God of War. I also liked Fallout 3, but I also love Fallout 4.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll love it. I just haven't started it yet, because I know it's gonna eat all my time.
Have you gotten it yet?
Yeah, I traded one of my old games for it.
That's right, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
There's another game on the PS4 that I actually played through, and it's called The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took for fucking ever. You start off as a character named Geralt, and he's a witcher, and he's looking for this girl. I think her name I can't remember her name, but she's like a daughter to him, and she's missing. And he just goes through a lot of shit, and it's one of those games that has different endings depending on the decisions you make.
Yeah.
I think she ended up dying in my decision, or in my ending. That was shitty.
That sucks.
Yeah. And I played a ton of MMO. I started with Guild Wars. I played that game for like 3 years, and I think I put in 2,500 hours, or 2.5, yeah, about 2,500 hours, and that thing consumed
Jesus.
my life.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that's all I fucking did for like 3 years. I really enjoyed the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah, you and just about everybody else. I've played a lot of them. They're interesting, but they're just not my type of game, I guess.
Yeah.
But I always get excited when a new one comes out, and then I rent it or borrow it from a friend, and then I'm like, oh, it's just the same thing that I've played before.
Yeah, but they have different settings, and
Yeah.
they're nice, and visually they're stunning.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for that movie?
I think I saw a little bit of it.
It does not look very good. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, a lot of movies based on video games don't.
Yeah. And I'm taking that into account, but I just love his character is supposed to be or his past character is supposed to be like a Spaniard from the 15th or 16th century, and they got the whitest man ever to play it.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh. And I like that actor. He plays the younger Magneto in the newer X-Men movies, and he's been good in some other stuff, but if you're going to make a main character be a Spaniard, at least hire somebody who's Spanish or Latino or something.
Well, like I'm all against like whitewashing and shit with like the whole Hollywood thing, but I mean Spain is over in Europe, and they're not exactly like dark complected.
Yeah, but still, he's
Europeans
the whitest
are white.
guy ever.
I don't know. Have you seen yourself lately? You're pretty pasty, buddy.
He's whiter than I am, and he's British too. I'm only half British.
Yeah, you're full paste.
Anyway, what else you got on there?
I played a little bit of WoW.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's not what I heard.
Yeah.
Although I guess you probably a little bit compared to most people.
Yeah,
I played it.
5 years straight playing it.
My ex played it, and it never connected with me at all. I didn't understand why it was fun or how anybody. And don't get me wrong, I can play games for hours. I could play Madden or WWE for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and WWE is more fun because I can take my favorite wrestlers and make them win titles that they'd never win otherwise. But still, like, I don't know. I just never understood how somebody could play WoW for more than 5 minutes.
There's always something to do, though. I mean, there's storylines, there's side quests. You can always upgrade your gear.
Yeah, that just sounds like... That's another thing, too. Like, like I said, I never really played it much, but so most of my knowledge comes from watching an episode of South Park where they play WoW. But just the idea that you, like, build yourself up by, like, doing the most meaningless crap, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I love a game where, like, and Batman is one of them, like, you upgrade yourself by solving missions or beating the crap out of bad guys or whatever. Like, that makes sense, but, like, oh, I'm gonna go find a chicken for this random idiot, and that's somehow gonna make me stronger, like...
Doing a mission.
But it's...
Gaining experience.
But it's not the same, because, like, a mission in Batman means you're gonna go find a bad guy and kick his ass.
Oh, you do that in WoW, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, for whatever reason,
you run
doesn't
dungeons
make...
And
I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody who plays them. Me personally, that never seemed appealing. I never want my opinion of something to, and not that it would, but I never want anybody to think, because I know some people who think, like, oh, you don't like something I like, so that means that you're an asshole, or I'm an asshole. It's like, no, we just have a differing opinion.
Well, you are an
Like,
asshole.
yes, but not for that reason. For
No.
a multitude of other reasons.
A plethora. Copious
Yes.
amounts of reasons.
You
are what you eat.
What else you got on there?
Oh, I'm going to end it on this game that I've been stuck on recently. I've been playing the crap out of it.
Is this the one you were playing when I got here?
It was the one I was playing when you got here. It's Smite. And it's a MOBA. I think it stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena.
That makes sense. I think that's right.
It's a lot like League of Legends, which is a MOBA that most people know of.
Yeah, that's one I've heard of, but I've never played because I don't know. It seems like something that people play too much, and if it's something that people play too much, I'm not particularly interested in.
That's
other
fair.
than like Fallout, but that's different.
And Smite's relatively new, and in League they made up their own champions that you can play. But in Smite, their champions are based off of deities from different pantheons, or not even necessarily deities, but like they have Medusa in there, who's obviously not a goddess.
Wasn't she? I thought she was.
No, she was a priestess for Athena. She got raped by Poseidon and turned into Medusa.
All I really remember is snakes for hair and that she turns people to stone.
Yeah, she was punished because she got raped.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
I mean, that hasn't changed in the last 2,000 years.
2016 years, give or take.
Yeah, it looks fun. Like, I saw you playing it earlier when I got here, and I've seen you play it a couple other times, but, I don't know. I don't like playing online with other people. Just not because I don't like playing with other people, but everybody else is always so much better than me, so I always feel like the guy who's, like, dying every 10 seconds, and everybody's mad, like, oh, why'd we have to get this asshole on our team? So, and the unfortunate thing about that is you can't really ever practice, because if you practice online, you're just going to keep dying.
I mean, they have practice practice games and stuff.
Yeah.
You play against bots. You don't have to play with people.
That's why I never really cared for the Call of Duty games, was because I just was never good at not dying.
Yeah, I don't play those because I don't know. I just think the whole military thing is dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm interested. I don't really, like, they've done way too many World War II games. They need to give that up. Like, unless it's going to be like Wolfenstein, where they're friggin' zombie wolves, or like Nazi zombies. That'd be cool. But other than that, like, we've seen it, done it, you know.
Read about it in history class.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
I mean, heck, I think even in Wolfenstein, I think you fight Mecha Hitler at the end, if I remember correctly.
Heck yeah.
That kind of stuff I'd be interested in, but if it's just regular, it's like you can, you know, play one of the old games or watch an old movie or whatever.
Turn on the History Channel.
Yeah. But I am interested in the ones that are like, and again, the modern ones are weird to me too, because it's like, that stuff's really happening. Like, I don't feel that should be a thing. And I've played the modern ones, and they're probably the most enjoyable ones I've played, but I feel like they shouldn't really exist. But the future ones I think are cool, except for they're not nearly in the future enough. Like, they have cool new guns, but they still shoot bullets instead of like lasers or something awesome.
Lasers.
Which is why I like games like Mass Effect, where you're in space.
I do like Battlefront.
I haven't played Battlefront, because it seemed like it looked really cool, but then I found out it was mostly online, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
never mind.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but, I mean, I have a few friends that play it, so...
I want, like, the game that Star Wars: The Force Unleashed made it seem like it was going to be, that's the game I want.
Yeah.
Not the game that Star Wars: The Force Unleashed ended up being, but the game that it looked like it was going to be when they were releasing teasers and trailers and stuff. But yeah, fun times. You know what's funny is most of the games you mentioned I had not heard of, and I saw a couple on your list that you either crossed out or decided not to talk about, and most of those are the ones I had heard of. But
Yeah.
for the most part, yeah, like I'd never heard of that Champion game or the games that got you started on. I genuinely can't remember what video game was the first I ever played. It's probably like, and you know, here we go with the old jokes, but it was probably something on like the original Nintendo or Sega or something. I had all. I think I've had, with the exception of the Xbox One, I think I've had every system that's ever come out at one point or another. Now, I didn't have a Dreamcast.
You're old.
But I had a friend who had a Dreamcast, and we played the crap out of the Dreamcast. But yeah,
I thought you played Pong when that first came out.
I'm not that old. Close, but not quite.
Give or take a year.
Well, there's 3, I think. I think Pong was 86 or 87, so 3 or 4 years.
86, 87. You were born in 72.
God. I would hope that I wouldn't be still in college if I was born in 72.
True.
So, I know a few people listened/watched the episode last week, but I didn't really hear anything about the songs, except for from people who mentioned it as they were listening. You know who you are.
They're out there.
Also, I think it's it's worth noting that this is probably going to go up a day or two later, because we were going to record, and then it was our friend Jacob's birthday, so we ended up hanging out with him instead.
Happy Cake Day, sir.
Shout out to Jacob, who's told me multiple times that he wants to listen, but hasn't gotten around to it yet. So, maybe maybe when he does finally get around to it, he'll be like, holy crap, they mentioned me. But yeah, so this is our 5th one. It's almost exactly, I think we're 2 days shy of being exactly 1 month into this, which, I think is really cool. Like, I don't know, the fact that, like, we're keeping up, and we're, you know, recording one a week. I still want to try and, record 1 or 2 in a night, so that way if we ever can't record, we'll have backups, but I don't know, I'm pretty excited. Like, we're on 5. I think we can have a guest soon now. Like, now that we've kind of established ourselves and stuff. But I don't know. Like, aside from school, this is probably the most consistent thing I've done in the last couple years. So I'm really happy that we're keeping this up. And
This is the most consistent thing I've done in years.
and I'm really happy that people are listening, and I just wish that I got more feedback. Like, obviously they're listening, so they like it, but
I think there was a comment on the last YouTube video.
if there was, I did not see it, and I checked not too long ago. The only one I've seen a comment on was the first one. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I just wanted to say how excited I am that we're on episode 5. 5 alive. So I want to get into the songs. I think we got enough. I think we're good on time.
Yeah, there's a comment.
Oh, hey. Oh, it's from you. Did you just post that right now?
No.
Oh, that would have been perfect. You're like, yeah, there's a comment, and I don't even look at when it was posted. I swear I just checked that yesterday, and it wasn't up. Anyway.
I posted it yesterday.
Alright, so I think I'm going to do 4. And just like last time, just if you have anything, chime in. Let me know and I'll stop.
Are these gospels?
No. This one is called Goodbye. I think it's about my dad, so this is going to be a little weird. But here we go. I miss you so much, but what can I do? Everything I've written, I wrote to impress you. You've been gone for so long, I had to say goodbye in a song. I hope I made you proud. I love you, I want to shout it out loud. My life changed that horrible day, and now I'll never feel the same way. And then chorus is, I lost you long ago, and I don't know what to say. I should just be who I portray. I had to say it sooner or later, so shut up and listen, all you haters. Apparently I thought I had haters. I probably did. I probably have more haters now than I did then, though.
At least one.
I just want to say goodbye, my main guy, goodbye. Verse 2, I love you as much as a son could. Yep, there you go. It's about my dad. I hope you know I tried to be good. I think about you every day. This is why I have to say. And then it goes back into the chorus. I lost you long ago, and I don't know what to say. I should just be who I portray. I had to say it sooner or later, so shut up and listen, all you haters. I just want to say goodbye, my main guy, goodbye. Verse 3, Mom, you were great. Don't hate yourself because it was too late. There wasn't a thing you could have done. Nobody knew Dad would be the first one. Damn, that's dark. You raised me better than you may think. I learned never to drink. Weird. Apparently I forgot that lesson, because that's like my favorite thing to do now.
Right.
Life was so great. Life was great. Don't feel bad, even though I was quite sad. I love you both with all my heart. Interesting.
Them haters, though.
Right? All them 15-year-old haters.
Right.
I don't know. Alright, this one is leaving/coming home. Verse 1. Oh, this one has 2 different choruses. Oh, how fancy am I? I'm leaving home today. It's something I never wanted to say. I hoped I would be here all my life, but I won't, so I gotta go. I don't want to, but I can't say no, so I'm off to the next place. I miss the happy look from my face. Chorus 1. Soon I'll be gone, never to return. What can I do to earn my way back in? To earn my way back in, I must learn. I really should have used punctuation in this. Maybe one day I can go back, but the truth is that I won't get Jack. I may never see it again. Jack? I don't know. I'm really gonna miss all my friends. Verse 2. Well, I guess I was wrong. I'm going back tonight. That didn't take long. I can't wait. It'll be such a great sight. I remember everyone and everything. Then when I arrive, I see something shocking. Everything has changed. It all looks strange. This isn't the place that I left at all. That place died years ago in a great fall. Alright. Chorus 2. I'm coming home feeling cursed. Everything changed for the worst. When I see my friends, they're not the same. Is this some cruel game? Well, this was a once-in-a-lifetime deal. I turn my back and leave because I learned what's real.
So is this a song that you've written recently?
No. What's funny is I think what this is, and like, it's funny because this is life repeating itself. I think this is me talking about moving to Oklahoma, and then when I went back and visited California, I realized that California wasn't as great as I had built it up to be. And then I still moved back to California, and when I lived out there for 3 years, I was like, oh, this place kind of sucks. And that's why I'm back here now. Alright, this one is called Shameless or No Shame. It's got an intro. I've made a lot of mistakes. I won't tell lies. There is no way I'll apologize. Because everything I said I meant, especially every time I came and went. Chorus. Even though I haven't been a saint, I wouldn't change anything, even when I felt faint. I felt no shame, I never will. That's the truth, and it's all for real. For real. To make it rhyme with will. 'Cause I finally got what I wanted, and if I lose it, I'll be haunted. Verse 1.
By the white lady.
I feel no shame. I'm still the same. Nothing's changed. I'll try to make sure it won't. Things will stay the way they are, and if they don't, it won't go too far. I'm the same man. I've got the same game plan. Because, and then go back to the chorus. Even though I haven't been a saint, I wouldn't change anything, even when I felt faint. I felt no shame. I never will. That's the truth. It's all for real. 'Cause I finally got what I wanted, and if I lose it, I'll be haunted. Verse 2. Don't play the shame game. Don't blame me or curse my name. I'm not proud of everything I did, but if I could do it again, I wouldn't change shit. I have had a great time on this earth. To anyone who cares and for what it's worth. Life is still great, and I love every minute. I'm in it to win it. The song is how I want to present it. And then it goes back into the chorus. I feel weird reading the chorus over and over, because, like, I read it once, but, you know, if it were a real song, it would go, so, whatever. I'm going to read it again. Even though I haven't been a saint, I wouldn't change anything, even when I felt faint. I felt no shame, I never will. That's the truth. It's all for real. Because I finally got what I wanted, and if I lose it, I'll be haunted. Alright, and this one is called Fake. Oh, it's so fake, but apparently my pen was dying when I wrote so. Intro. It seems everything is fake, nothing is real. Well, I just don't know how to deal. This is just the way I feel. The wounds that it's given me may never heal. Chorus. Because this world has gotten so fake, no longer getting more than what we take. Life isn't what it seems to be. It's not all that hard to see. What happened is what happened, what's wrong. Again, punctuation, man. And I spelled happened wrong. Mm-hmm. Why am I singing this song? Why did I write this song would be a better question. Verse 1. Even though it's all fake, I still enjoy my life. Nothing can change that, even with a gun or knife. Oh, dark.
It's getting dark over here.
The world has done me wrong. It's made me feel like I don't belong. But it can't bring me down, 'cause when I look around, I know everything will be great, so I won't ever hate. And then back in the chorus. Because this world has gotten so fake, no longer getting more than what we take. Life isn't what it seems to be. It's not at all that hard to see. What happened? What's wrong? Why am I singing this song?
Why? Why are you singing this song?
Verse 2. No matter how bad shit gets, I'll never leave. No matter how many people don't believe. I said it before, I'll say it again. I feel no shame. Oh, call back to another song. That's some Inception level shit.
Songception.
Songception. Oh, that should totally be the name of the episode. I won't change 'cause of this fame. One person who isn't fake is my best friend. He's been real and will be till the end. Even I've been fake, it's true, but but there was nothing else I could do. And then back into the chorus. Because this world has gotten so fake, no longer getting more than what we take. Life isn't what it seems to be. It's not all that hard to see. What happened? What's wrong? Why am I singing this song?
Oh, shit.
Well, that was 4, so that's all we're going to do for this go. But there's plenty more. And this is only one book. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm already so humiliated, but I feel like those weren't as bad as the ones we did last week.
It's still pretty bad.
Yeah, but again, I was a dopey little teenager. The only other thing I want to talk about, I almost don't want to talk about it because it's so dumb. It's like white people problems, or first world problems, I should say. I'm losing. Well, I'm not losing. I already lost it because I already canceled it. My TV. This will be the first time, I think, like, ever that I won't have TV.
First world problems.
And it sucks.
You'll have Hulu, though.
Yeah, and Netflix.
Yeah.
But, like, I won't have TV that I can watch if I'm at home. Like, you know, like, say when my shows come back on, I won't be able to watch it if I have the night off or whatever. Or, you know, I won't be able to DVR it and watch it that night. I'll have to wait till the next day like an animal.
Oh my god. God forbid.
Like, literally, you have no idea how much it sucked last night going home and not being able to watch WWE. And the funny thing is I stayed up so late that I actually could have watched it before I went to sleep. But I still didn't. I went and I ran my couple errands I had to do and made my couple calls, and then I watched it.
I haven't watched anything the day it comes out on television since, like, I graduated high school.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I've always had, it's never, you know, I've always had, because my parents always had TV, and then I always, like, had the money to pay for TV myself, but it's just getting too expensive.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
So I had to get rid of it. And, I mean, I guess technically there are less than legal ways that I could watch it the same night, but, you know, I'd rather watch it a way that, because since I want to work in the entertainment field, I like to support the entertainment field, which is why I like to actually pay for stuff when I watch it, whether it be renting it or going to see it in the theater or whatever. I don't get me wrong, I have done it, but I don't like to. If I can avoid it, I don't like to. Although, I mean, that's how I saw the most recent X-Men, was I watched it on the computer, and I didn't go see it in the theater. But I'm glad I didn't, because fuck, that movie sucked.
Are you admitting to illegal activities?
No. I said I watched it on the computer. I didn't say I illegally downloaded it.
No.
I watched it.
But you mentioned there are less than legal ways, and said that's how I watched X-Men.
I said, no. I mean, it sounded that way, but no, because the site that I watched it on, the site itself, it's legal. Where the site got it from
Probably
is
not.
none of my business.
See if that holds up in court.
It's funny, too, because I guess it came out overseas like a week or two earlier, so I watched it a week or two before it came out in the theater.
Mm-hmm. How's the quality?
Surprisingly not bad. There was one or two parts that were a little jacked, but for the most part, considering it was clearly somebody who snuck a camera into a movie theater, it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so boring. God, it was so boring. And, of course, it didn't help that it literally came out 3 weeks after Civil War, so it had to live up to the hype of Civil War, which it did not even come remotely close to.
Yeah, you would think they would just stop making X-Men movies with how horrible they've been.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the last one before this was great. Probably my favorite of the bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And then
good.
the one before that was really good, too. The First Class. Really, the only one I haven't liked... I didn't like the first Wolverine movie.
No.
The second Wolverine movie was okay, but it was a little long. I like the third one. I know most people don't. I didn't really care for the first one. That's it. I like all the other ones. I really like 2. 2 is great. Like I said, Days of Future Past is probably my favorite. First Class is probably my second favorite. And then 2 and 3. Actually, technically, since Deadpool's an X-Men movie, Deadpool's my favorite X-Men movie. Then Days of Future Past.
I guess that's fair.
So I was thinking about this earlier, and I don't have a story, so it's kind of lame. And I've mentioned this to you before, but I was just was thinking how great it'll be one day when something crazy happens, and, like, our first thought is, like, I gotta tell Aaron, or I gotta tell Brad, but, like, we don't tell each other until we're on the podcast. Like, because that's why I haven't let you look at these songs at all, is because I think it's more fun to get your genuine reaction.
All them haters.
Yeah. But anyway, the only thing that I think we haven't really quite figured out yet is how to end. Like,
That's all, folks.
well, I mean, no, I like our sign off is perfect. I just, like, never know. Like, so we're right at an hour now. I think we haven't had any pauses or anything, so I don't think I have to edit anything out.
Nothing too long.
But, so, like, you know, like, I feel like since we're right at an hour, we should probably end. But, you know, I feel like it's a weird place to end at the same time.
An hour?
No, not the time, but just the subject matter. Like, we were just randomly talking about X-Men, and they were like, okay, bye! See you later! There you go! But, yeah. So, I guess that'll be it for this week. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Yeah, I know. I've been staring at that for most of this show. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. Hopefully, I really want to have a guest. We have a couple people we've been trying to get on.
What people we can get off?
I don't know any of those people.
What do you mean, those people?
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? I do have one story, but I think I'm going to save it because I don't know. I don't know if I want to put it in the ether. You already know because I already told it to you, but I don't know.
We talked about it yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with talking about it yet. But I will be at one point. That's neither here nor there, though. So yeah, damn it, I'm saying a lot this week. Or right now. Shut up. I'm not gonna cut this out. Like, this is totally staying in. Sorry, everybody. So, fuck. Damn it. Next week, oh my gosh. I can't stop now. Hopefully, maybe not next week, but in the near future, we'll have a guest. Like I said, I feel now that we're at 5, we can have guests. I wanted the first couple to be just the two of us, because I would have hated, like, to get somebody on and, like, them be like, well, we barely even know these two, and now they're already throwing somebody else into the mix. But I feel like we've talked about enough different stuff about ourselves that, God, dang it.
Get some of that bullshit out the way.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, like, people who are listening know either you or me, but now whichever ones know you that don't know me, or know me that don't know you, know us a little bit better. So, hopefully in the near future, maybe the next one, we'll see. I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but, I'm going to cringe every time I say that word now.
Electroshock therapy, man. Every time you say,
So, we almost had our first guest last night, but that didn't work out for a multitude of reasons, and
alcohol.
I'm very happy that it didn't, because there was some stuff said that, not anything that would have been bad, but just stuff that probably good not to have had recorded.
Probably.
That being said, though, I am going to try and, get some people. That was that was not a no.
Because you made it and
No.
caught yourself.
No, I didn't.
You did.
That was totally different. I did almost do it that time. Do I say a lot, or is it just, like,
no,
right now? Fucking somebody who has no time on their hands should totally, like, make a supercut of every time I've said in these 5 episodes. I guarantee it's probably like a half hour long.
Probably is.
It's just like, Well, see, the funny thing is, some of, my stuff is, some of the times I say, it's so I know when to cut a piece out, or like when to stop a piece that I just cut out.
Not this time.
But no, not this time, not at all. And that's a little something for you people listening at home. Maybe next time you listen to one, see how well the transition was between what we were talking about and when I said But then other times I just say it because I lose train of thought or track of what I'm talking about or whatever. But anyway, that's it for this week. For the Morose Project, I'm Brad Rosen.
I'm Aaron Moore.
And always remember, kids,
Fat guys try harder. Get swifty.